Being a blue hive in Bee Swarm Simulator is much more than just macroing away, surprisingly. This video will teach you the basics of being a blue hive, pretty much everything you need to know to start being a blue hive. And maybe if you guys like this video, I'll cover like the specifics of everything to be a blue hive. Anyway, enough of the yapping, let's start the meaningful yapping. First thing about being a blue hive is your Supreme Star Amulet, or SSA as I'll probably say later in the video. The ideal stats on the amulet should be plus percentage blue pollen, multiplier convert rate, plus percentage pollen, plus percentage critical chance, and plus percentage bee ability rate. And that's also an order of importance on the amulet as well. Passive should be Pop Star and either Star Shower or Guiding Star. Amulets are determined whether they are good or not based on how many of the 5 ideal stats they have. For example, a 2 out of 5 amulet, a 4 out of 5 amulet, or a 5 out of 5 amulet. Generally, a 4 out of 5 double passive is better than a 5 out of 5 single passive, which is better than a 3 out of 5 double passive. An exception can be made, however, if 3 out of 5 double passive has high stats, over 60% blue pollen, over 15% pollen, or over 1.2 times convert rate, for example. In that case, the 3 out of 5 double passive would be taken over the 5 out of 5 single passive. Next, we'll actually cover what your hive should look like as a blue hive. Here I'll be looking at every single bee that is or can be in your hive for your lazy ass that can't bother looking at a picture and deciphering yourself. The hive displayed on screen contains 1 basic bee, 1 looker bee, 1 stubborn bee, 1 bumblebee, 1 cool bee, 1 commander bee, 1 bubble bee, 1 bucko bee, 1 shocked bee, 4 music bees, 1 demon bee, 1 ninja bee, 1 fuzzy bee, 1 tabby bee, 1 bear bee, 1 gummy bee, 1 festive bee, 10 tadpole bees, 19 buoyant bees, and 1 digital bee, vicious bee, or cobbled bee. And obviously you guys are just lazy, not stupid, so you would know that all these bees have to be gifted. The digital bee can be used in the unlikely scenario that you actually have it as a blue hive. Vicious bee is really just used in very early blue hives, and it will be taken out later regardless of if you want it or not. And Cobalt is just run if you're overfilling, which I'll go over later in this video. While macroing is a key part of being a blue hive, it isn't necessary, so if you can't macro for any reason, unless that reason is being a loser, skip to insert timestamp here for the next part of the video. Macroing as a blue hive is the way to make the most of your honey, so I'm here to teach you how to do it properly. If you haven't already, join the Nastro Macro Discord server to get the macro, and just for you guys, I'll link the server in the description because you guys are too lazy to use Google. Firstly, patterns. As a blue hive, you're obviously going to be macroing in Pine Tree Field, so you want a pattern to suit that. I have what are possibly the top 3 patterns for you to macro in Pine Field with, so let's go through them. Number 1, Miku Tide Shift. Use this one if you have the Petal Wand or Tide Popper. It also requires the Supreme Saturator, and for you to consistently to be able to macro at 30 FPS. And finally, it's recommended to set the width to 5 or 7 if you do use this one. Number 2, Pine Shift Redux. This pattern is good because it doesn't require you to have the Supreme Saturator. However, it does drift if you have lag. Use Shift Lock with this if you have Petal Wand or Tide Popper as well. Finally, number 3, Alter Pine Shift. This is the same pattern as Pine Shift Redux, but it basically just collects digital bee tokens, that's all. Those are my top 3 recommended patterns to macro with in Pine Tree Field. Obviously some will be better than others depending on the stage of your game. While macroing, you're going to want some nectars, which are basically the drugs of Bee Swarm. Ideally you want all the nectars while macroing, but if you can only do 4 or 3, leave out Invig and Refreshing. Invigorating is the least useful nectar for blue hives, and Refreshing is the second least useful. So that leaves you with satisfying, motivating, and comforting nectars to collect. Overfilling and underfilling are going to be the last 2 things covered in this video. Overfilling is when your backpack fills up relatively fast, in around 4 to 5 minutes, compared to the usual 6 to 8 minutes. There are multiple ways to fix this. Firstly, remove the gifted fuzzy for a buoyant or tadpole, or alternatively, you can add a gifted cobbled bee for that plus 10% blue instinct conversion, or remove a tadpole or 2 and replace them with a buoyant bee. Underfilling, quite shockingly, is the opposite of overfilling. Who would have thought? Not me. Anyway, simple solutions for this as well. Literally just do the opposite of what you would have done to solve overfilling. For the stupid people here, that's removing gifted cobble, adding a few more tadpole bees, adding a gifted fuzzy if you don't already have one, or adding a gifted frosty. Wow, that was a lot of information to take in, wasn't it guys? So I think that is enough yapping for me. I'm gonna just head out. I'll consider making a part 2 to this if you guys want me to, so like this video right now because I need the monetization, and I'll see you in the next video, which is hopefully going to be a TDS tutorial. I'm out.